Something happened to you recently. Someone said something, sent a message, gave you a look, and before you even had time to think, you reacted. You said something you didn't mean, made a decision you immediately regretted, damaged something that took years to build. And the worst part? You knew it was happening. You could feel it, but you couldn't stop it. Here's what nobody tells you. That wasn't a character flaw. That wasn't weakness. That was your brain doing exactly what it was designed to do. And today, you're going to understand why. But here's the part that's going to surprise you. The same mechanism that made you react is the same one that's been quietly running your life without you knowing it. Stay with me, because what you're about to learn will change the way you see your own mind forever. Picture this. It's 11 p.m. You've had a brutal day. Your phone buzzes. It's your partner. The message says 3 words. We need to talk. What happens inside you? You didn't choose it. You didn't decide it. Your heart rate jumps. Your stomach drops. Your mind starts spinning. Did I do something wrong? Is this serious? Are we okay? And you still don't know anything. 3 words. That's all it took. Here's why. Deep inside your brain, there's a small structure called the amygdala, about the size of an almond, and its only job is to scan for threats. Not tomorrow's threats, not maybe threats. Right now, immediate, danger. The amygdala doesn't think, it doesn't analyze, it doesn't ask questions, it just reacts. Thousands of years ago, that saved our lives. When a predator appeared, there was no time to think. React first, survive second. But here's the problem nobody talks about. Your amygdala doesn't know what year it is. To your brain, a threatening text message at 11 p.m. feels exactly like running from a predator. Same chemicals, same response, same level of urgency. And that raises a question that most people never stop to ask. If your brain is reacting before you can think, who is actually making your decisions? Let me give you another scenario. You're in a meeting at work. Your boss criticizes you in front of everyone. It feels unfair. It feels personal. It stings. And before you can stop yourself, you respond. Not calmly, not strategically. You just react. Maybe you snap back. Maybe you shut down completely. Maybe you say something you can never take back. You were right about what you felt, but the way you expressed it closed a door that took you years to open. 10 seconds of reaction. 10 months of consequences. This is the part almost nobody understands. Over 2,000 years ago, a man born into slavery understood something that modern neuroscience is only now confirming. His name was Epictetus, and he said something so simple it almost sounds obvious, until you really think about it. It's not what happens to you that matters. It's what you think about what happens to you. Epictetus didn't have brain scans. He didn't know what an amygdala was, but he understood something fundamental. Between the thing that triggers you and the way you respond, there is a space, a tiny gap, almost invisible. And inside that gap lives your freedom. Most people never find it. They react automatically, as if they have no choice. But they do. And here's where everything changes. Because when you understand what's actually happening inside your brain during those moments, that gap starts getting bigger. Neuroscientists have a name for what happens in those moments. They call it an emotional hijacking, and it's exactly what it sounds like. Your amygdala takes over. It hijacks your rational brain, and it starts making decisions for you. Here's how it works. The moment you perceive a threat, real or imagined, your body floods with adrenaline. Your heart rate spikes. Your muscles tighten. Your breathing gets shallow and fast. Then comes cortisol. Cortisol keeps you in that state of high alert for minutes, sometimes hours. And while all of that is happening, the activity in your prefrontal cortex drops dramatically. Your prefrontal cortex is the part of your brain that thinks clearly, that considers consequences, that says, wait, breathe, think before you speak. But during an emotional hijacking, that voice goes almost completely silent. That's why you send that text at 2 a.m. you immediately regret. That's why you say things in arguments you'd never say when you're calm. That's why you make decisions under pressure that make no sense an hour later. It happens in relationships. It happens at work. It happens on social media, when someone says something that triggers you. It happens in traffic. It happens in family dinners. And here's what makes it even more dangerous. Most people don't even realize it's happening until it's already over. But there's something you can do, right now, today. The next time you feel that trigger, that moment when something pushes your buttons, do one thing before you respond. Breathe. Not as a cliche, as neuroscience. A slow, deep breath activates your vagus nerve. That nerve sends a direct signal to your brain. No real danger here. And in that moment, your prefrontal cortex starts coming back online. 3 seconds. One breath. That is the gap Epictetus was talking about. I want you to imagine something. Imagine what your relationships would look like if you could always choose how to respond instead of just reacting. Imagine what your career would look like if criticism no longer knocked you off balance. Imagine what your life would feel like if other people's provocations simply didn't have power over you anymore. This isn't about becoming cold. It's not about suppressing your emotions. It's about something completely different. The person who stops reacting automatically isn't someone without feelings. They're someone who feels everything, but decides who's actually in control. That is real strength. Not being the loudest person in the room. Not toughing it out. It's having the clarity to respond from reason, when everything inside you is screaming to react from fear. The most powerful people you'll ever meet aren't the ones who react the fastest. They're the ones who know how to wait. The ones who stay calm when everything around them is chaos. Not because they're unaffected, but because they trained themselves to use that invisible gap between what happens and what they choose to do next. And that is a skill, not a talent, not a personality trait, a skill. Built one moment at a time, one breath at a time, one reaction you choose not to have at a time. Your brain was built to react before you think. That's not a flaw. That's your oldest survival system doing its job. But you're not running from predators anymore. You're trying to build something. Better relationships, a clearer mind, a life you actually chose. And for that, you need to learn to use the gap. The next time someone provokes you, before you respond, breathe. Just that. Because in that one breath is the difference between who you were before you understood this and who you're becoming now. If this video connected with you, there's more like this every week. Subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next one.